Experience podcast. My name is Dennis, and today I'm here with Neal, and actually I'm going to let him introduce himself. I am a connector of the bridge for people coming from the old world into the new earth, and what you see behind us is the fruit of that. And there's going to be a lot of links that are going to be in the description, and those links will be links to master classes and events that you can tap into that are earth waking events. And also there's going to be an event that you can create or give donations to this community, and also in support of this channel. So with that,
Hi. uh, I am what I am. The totality of what I am is a multi-dimensional, infinite spiritual being that's expressing through this human vessel. My name is Neal. I'm a coach, and I assist conscious people in their 20s exit the matrix and be with their soul family. So if that's you. You can find my Snapchat in the description. You can find my email in the description. Just literally just send me a direct message hey, I'm ready to exit the matrix. What's my next step? Um, your next step is sending this message and reaching out and connecting. Uh, so those are in the description. Every Monday at 5 o'clock p.m. I am humbled and grateful to be a facilitator of the Natural Balance Masterclass. And in Natural Balance, we cultivate balance and cooperation within us so that we get reflected in our external environment, balance and cooperation. So come prepared to go deep, and come prepared to go deep fast. And so this is a masterclass that's every Monday at 5 o'clock p.m. And what I can promise you is broken expectations and transformation and a space of love. And it's a Zoom link, so it's held on Zoom, so you can tune in from anywhere where you're at. And this direct Zoom link is in the description of this video. So I look forward to seeing you on Monday. And the time is Central Standard Time, so you'll want to adjust. And now, from this present space of where we're at, from this moment, what's it like to, first of all, have an inner child? Second of all, have a relationship with your inner child? And then, third of all, express your inner child. And I'm asking you, Dennis.
so what is the first question?
What's it like to have an inner child? What is an inner child?
So everyone has an inner child, um, and there we may have left. I know for me, I left my inner child behind when I was at the age of 5, and I abandoned him for 30 years, and I'm just now rediscovering and finding him again. Um, and the way that I left my inner child behind is I walled off my heart. I quit feeling my emotions. I quit having fun. I quit having being I started the way that I left my inner child was I started following the teachers, preachers, family, and friends, and I left my little child. I allowed those influences to direct those outside influence to direct the path of my life, and so that's how I left my inner child.
So what it's like for Neal to have an inner child is to it's like to tap into the truest aspect of myself. And um, like when I'm exactly like what you spoke to, Dennis, and I shut off my heart, when I like basically just keep myself from expressing my soul's essence, then that's stifling my inner child. Because I see the inner child as also the higher self. And I think they're the same thing. And so I see the inner child as being our true self, and our true self wants nothing but to contribute and to give. And so when we're not doing that, we're stifling the inner child. And so what it's like for me to have an inner child is to actually love being by myself. Like my inner child loves being by itself, and my inner child also likes being around people, but it's very specific people, and it's people that are heart centered, and even that doesn't always do it. Like my inner child loves being alone, so I honor that, and I be alone, and that's expressing my inner child. Additionally, my inner child likes to read. It likes to just like meditate. My inner child, one of its things that it loves the most is to go swimming. I went swimming today at the start of the day when it was like the sun wasn't even up yet. It was still like this pre-dawn, just getting daylight out. When I was swimming in the Rio Barro River, which is this epic river here that during rainy season there, a lot of water flows through it, and then during dry season, like a moderate amount. But it's like this blue-green water, and it's super mineralized, and like when I'm in there, like my inner child is just like giggling and celebrating, and it's like having communication with angels, and you can like hear them like talking, and like and I say they're talking, but it's like all this extent of joy is present that I just feel joy of other beings and people, even when I'm not around them, even when I'm just experiencing the joy. And I think it's when I tap into the inner child that that degree of joy is available. Like I don't need other people or other things. Like I'll just go literally. Oh,
Yes.
another thing is like walking on logs. So like if I see a log laying there, just jumping up on the log and walking on it.
So, like,
Um,
have you always, like, as a kid, have you always, like, felt, like, have you always been the one to be by yourself?
Not always, but when the time is, then yes.
Okay.
See, I don't think it's like something for always, but I do think there's a time and a place for it, and I honor that. And when I was younger, I didn't honor it as much as I do now, and I actually craved it more when I was younger than now as an adult. I don't crave it as much because I actually give my inner child that opportunity. To have an inner child for me is to express authentically the true self. And then this now leads into, okay, so first of all, before I go into my next question, do you have anything to add or say to that?
No.
All right, so my next question is, so to have an inner child, we've distinguished that. So now everybody has an inner child, essentially. Everybody has a true self, a higher self that is the self that's beyond this egoic ideal construction that we've created to then show to the world. So each of us has this true essence within us, this inner child, and the majority of humanity doesn't have a relationship with that inner child. And they have a relationship with the inner child, which is to stifle it, to shut it off, to when the inner child says like, hey, I would like to paint today, that's like stifled because there's things that need to be done. So inner child, you don't get to paint, we gotta go get some bread. So that's the relationship with the inner child with the majority of humanity. And what's happening on the planet is that people are waking up and experiencing their true self to a degree that literally hasn't ever been seen. And I know I haven't seen the full extent of what the true self is. And so I think this relationship with my inner child is a relationship that is malleable and it's moving, and I'm experiencing uh, the fullness of what I am, like in a body. Like I've experienced the fullness of what I am outside of a body, but now I'm in a body and having like direct experiences and stimuli from the outside in, and so now I'm having a relationship with the inner child that um, like it's caring, it's nurturing. I'm compassionate for it, and this relationship has me like not judging when I choose to be and not do, um, because I have compassion for that part of me that like this is how my true self wants to express right now. This is what my inner child is asking for, and it would be of such joy to express what my inner child is requesting. So my relationship with my inner child is a malleable experience that's like filled with compassion and gratitude, and um, that's my relationship. So what's your relationship with your inner child, Dennis?
Um, like I had an experience this morning and yesterday where, like, I feel like I'm tapped into my inner child, but I also feel that there's this aspect of like discovering the um, what that child loves to be, how it loves to be, loving that child, because I hated it for a long time. Like I was running away from my gifts and my abilities and my true self, and so I feel like now it's like this peeling away the layers of all of those years of packing and stacking emotions and not feeling and walling off my heart. So really, it's every day is like every moment is a brand new relationship with my inner child, um, and it's an evolution. It's a discovery of who and what that actually is.
What would you call that kind of a relationship?
Um, a nurturing relationship, a relationship of being in the question of how can I love that child more in this moment than I did in the last moment. How can I support that child um, in ways of being and in ways of doing. Um, so yeah, I feel like just finding ways to support and love that little 5 year old that I abandoned is allowing that little child to come out and really express itself in ways that I'm just now discovering and allowing it to see.
Mm.
And so that's to me that's the most important thing for me in the moment is to love and to see how I can support that inner child.
Amazing. What's it like to express your inner child?
Joyful, like being in joy, gratitude, peace, love, like all the fruits of the spirit, all the abundance, fun, being playful, all of that. What is it like for you?
It's all of those, and it's also like sometimes it's uh, like I'll feel emotion that's like I would call it a negative experience to where it's like I'll feel all the things you felt, and then I'll also feel like I'll be in anxiety, for example, thinking about things going on in the future. Another example, when I'm expressing my inner child, uh, there's some there's an element within me that has like a holding back of expressing my inner child because of when I've expressed it in the past, like it's gotten shut down. So like there's an element of um, when I express it, there's an element of what's going to be the consequences of what I when I express it. So it's like it's not exactly fear per se, but it's an awareness of like something like a consequence. And so what it's like for me to express my inner child is like this epic experience that also comes with shit. And in the moments when I experience the shit, that's when I need the compassion the most. And I think we sometimes live in an illusion that the shit is just like we get to a certain point and then we just don't experience the shit. Um, I think that's the truth, but getting there is a road of like deep troughs and high waves, and those are the troughs are the shits, the waves are the highs, and I think as we're waking up, they're very dynamic, and then as we continue to wake up and express the inner child and be in the true self, they become less dynamic until the waves of emotion start to level out into like this super high gamma wave frequency that's just like a bzzz. Like there's waves and troughs, but they're so subtle and so close together that it's a very level, peaceful frequency. And I think at that state, that's when the inner child is in mostly full expression. There might still be aspects to go, but I think at this frequency of um, experiencing oneness and uh, being loving and joyful and connected all the time, most of the time, I think that is the ultimatum of where you get to when you express the inner child. Do you want to add more to that?
Yeah, like I've also experienced the same thing where like I'll find myself really being in peace, like having so much fun that it's almost like I shut myself down for like out of fear of having too much fun or the consequences that some that this is not real or it's not the right thing to be doing or so I can relate with that. And I think it's a natural. I love how you explained that the gamma ray. Like that's good. Um, so I feel complete.
All right. I have another thing, and it's a question of what to do when you don't know what to do. And I'm gonna answer this. And what to do when you don't know what to do is, if you don't know what to do, you're thinking that you need to know what to do. So you're mostly in your brain. Um, when you don't know what to do and you think you need to know what to do, then that's a negative experience. But when you don't know what to do and you're good with not knowing what to do, then that's a positive experience. So what to do when you don't know what to do? Just be okay not knowing what to do. Uh, and the thing that wants to know what to do is the ego. It's the egoic construction that we've created. It's the ideal self. It's the mask, the fake version that the collective is showing to the world. And it's the smile when you're feeling shitty. And it's the saying "I love you" when your energy is saying "fuck you." And So it's this ideal construction is asking, what do I need to do? And it wants to do something to control and manipulate. But when you're expressing your inner child, when you're in your God self, when you're in your true self, you don't know what to do, and you have faith that things are working out for the greater good, so you don't need to know what to do. You just need to relax and be present. So, what to do when you don't know what to do is be okay not knowing what to do and have faith in the perfection. And then there's another question that you can implement after you've implemented what I've spoke to, which is the question, what would love have me do here? And this is one of the highest quality questions that I've ever come across. And so that's what I have on the what to do when you don't know what to do. And what do you got? Do you want to add to that or no? Do you feel complete? Do you want to add anything else? No. All right. I love you. I honor you. Thank you for being here. Your time is invaluable. These live streams are occurring every Wednesday at 3 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure and tune in for live streams. Peace.